Okay, we're back. I just wanted to finish a point that I didn't finish before, and that was about the case itself. So it's not about downloading and and using these titles to do any training on the LLMs. According to Anthropic, and according to them supposedly being under oath, they've testified under oath that they did not download these books to use to train. Sorry, they downloaded them. They downloaded them, where they stole them, pirated them, downloaded them. But according to them, they did not use those downloaded books that were stolen. They didn't use those to train the LLMs. What they did do is they then went out and bought millions of used books, printed physical books, not the downloaded ones, same books, same titles, same interior content, okay? But instead they took those, scanned them, and used those to train on the LLMs. What I don't understand is how the judge interprets that as being fair use. So because it wasn't the actual pirated book that they downloaded, but the one that they bought for 99 cents at a used bookstore and then scanned, that's okay. I don't really understand that. So especially with the intent to commercialize it, to make money on it. So I can see somebody, you sell your book and somebody shares it and gives it to somebody else. But if you're taking that book and then you're commercializing and monetizing, like, you're not allowed to do that with like music. Like, you can't do that. So why is it possible to do that with a novel? I'm really having trouble understanding the judge on that. Who I understand has written a textbook. So is an author of some kind here. Although I would beg to differ. Are you a judge first and an author second, or an author first and a judge second? It's kind of like that Herman Miller dilemma, when the CEO or founder of Herman Miller went to the funeral of one of his millwrights, the guys that worked in the mills, and found out that this guy was really a poet, was an incredible poet. And he wondered, was he a poet first and then a millwright, or was he a millwright and then a poet? And that actually launched him into creating the Scanlon Plan, like one of the first ever plans to help employees have rights and health care. And it was amazing Herman Miller mythology story, but that's another story. Anyway, back to this. So this was a new bit of information I learned today. And as I'm compiling all of this to understand, what are the options here. So, again, back to the choices, it's really make a claim. Make a claim is the equivalent of opting into the lawsuit. Opting out is you opt out, but you have to opt out by January 15th, but you have the option to come back in a re-inclusion situation and come back in, re-include yourself into being opted in by March 2nd. So you have a second chance on that to come back in, so that's cool. And then there's the objection, the third option, object, which means that you can object, like say, hey, I understand I'm in this claim, I'm part of the claim, but I object to, I'm part of the settlement, but I object to the valuation of my intellectual property. That would be an objection. But that means you still have to settle for whatever the settlement is. You still have to accept it because you opted in with an objection, but that objection doesn't change the outcome of the case for you. But it has value in that it will be considered by the court or by the judge. And if there's a lot of objections, they might consider that, and it could possibly affect the next hearing, which is taking place in April, I'm told. So that's my understanding there. And then the do nothing, which is just do nothing. So there's that's the explanation on that point. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to other authors out there who are trying to determine, do you opt in or opt out? I did ask Sussman Godfrey if it's possible if they would be taking on any of the opt-outers, but they can't. That would be a conflict of interest because they are strictly taking care of those members in the class action lawsuit, of which we are all current members until we opt out. So that's all for now. I'm going to go pick up the Thai food. Okay, take care. Talk later. Bye-bye.